It's Addy here, and welcome back to another episode of AMV Nation. Today, I'm also going to be playing Blacktop. It's like a string of videos, kind of just me playing Blacktop, and I'm going to be talking about some key things in the NBA. So let's get into it. I want to first start out with the honorable mentions for the MVP for next year. Carmelo Anthony, possibly. Paul George, for sure. You never know who's going to bounce back all of a sudden, but these are my top. I said top 5, but I actually have 6 here because I have to play a 3v3 game because I want to play with these guys. So I do have one extra, and I mean, I think also be it, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, let's get into it. So this is not in any specific order. This is just what I think, and I'm going to explain each person. So I'm going to start with Anthony Davis. Now, this guy in New Orleans, he's a great player, a great power forward, and he's super young. This guy's a lot of potential, but injuries have held him back. And his team hasn't been amazing, but I feel like he could carry them to a really good season, to a good spot in the playoffs, and he just hasn't been a very healthy himself, and when he is healthy himself, he plays really well, and he's proven that to the NBA, he's proven that to all the haters, and New Orleans, they love him down there, so they're gonna match him up with all these amazing guys. And I honestly think that this guy could be, this guy was actually my 6th, so my other 5 are the actual top 5 for me, but, I could really see him coming back and having a great season like, everybody expects him to, and he's a super young guy with a lot of time, so there's no rush, and that is, something that, also honorable mention to Kyrie Irving, because he also has a lot of time, and you never know if next year's his season, he's guaranteed MVP some year. It's bound to happen, but you never know, because he is a young player, and there are a lot of good guys out there. So I'm going to move on to James Harden. I love James. I loved him on the Thunder. I love him now. And, it's tougher for him now than it was on the Thunder. Now they've lost Dwight Howard as well. This team is it's been downgrading, actually. And, they don't have many superstars except for James, but he somehow finds a way into the playoffs, and he always plays amazing. And he might be cocky and suck at defense and stuff, but he still is a tremendous player and tremendous talent. He has a ways to go, I guess, but it's his time too. The clock is ticking for James in terms of his prime, so he can't just hold back now. It's now or never, kind of, and he needs to decide whether Houston is his team and he sticks with them, or he goes back to the Thunder, or he finds another team, whatever. But it's his time, and he has to find a way to capitalize it as much as he can. And in Houston, he puts up great numbers, 20 plus all the time. And he's picked up his passing a lot too, so I feel like next season it'll go even more because of the fact that Houston's never had a great point guard presence while he's been there, and he's had to pick it up, and he usually does the ball handling, so you need to be able to pass very well, and I think that's something that comes up as an MVP, so you have to be not only the best in the league, but you also have to be able to pass, make others better around you, and be good at that. So he's a great candidate for that, and not given last season, not much, but the season before that, he was amazing. He came up runner-up to Steph Curry, and he's just he's got a lot of talent there. Maybe he needs another person there to help him push the Rockets even higher, but he quit Team USA just because he wanted to work with his team and work on his game more, and that just shows dedication. And this guy, he's always had dedication. He's always been ready to put in that firepower, so I really think that next season could be his season. So let's move on to Kawhi. And Kawhi is last year he was the runner-up, defensive player of the year twice. He puts defense first, and you don't see that much in the players these days. But he's a great defender, great scorer, the go-to option now, along with LaMarcus Aldridge for the Spurs. So you know, he needs to, I mean, this could be his season as well. You know, he's pretty young as well compared to the rest of the guys on here. So, you know, this is his time, and the Spurs making upgrades. You know, he's going to have a better season. We all know it. And I think defensive players do get a little bit of a boost when it comes to MVP, because defense is a huge key. It's like offense is like scoring is not the only thing, but he has that down too. Like Kawhi still averages 20 plus. He's a great passer, a great rebounder for his position. And he's always battling in there. So, you know, depending on how well the Spurs play and depending on how well he gels with the rest of his players, which he will, but, you know, without Timmy D, you know, Tim Duncan had a great presence on him, and Tim being a MVP himself, you know, he's going to help Kawhi learn, and he helped Kawhi learn and blossom into a great player. So there's no worry on that. He's going to be MVP sometime. It's just a matter of when, and a matter of next season is his season, because he has a lot left in him. So yeah, moving on to Russell Westbrook. Now this guy, I mean, he had a huge chance. I mean, I thought he should have been in this year, you know, like Steph Curry. He's a great shooter and all, but I really love Russell Westbrook and how he plays with the triple doubles. This guy, he gives everything to your team. Not only does he score, but he passes, and he can I mean, he can be that go-to guy, obviously, but not only does he score, he passes, he rebounds, he does pretty much everything. He's like a small forward, like point guard. He's the most versatile point guard, I think, in the league. He may not be the best shooting point guard, obviously, but he can attack the rim better than probably any point guard in this league. And not only that, but his will to just, you know, truck through anything. And even next season, when they don't have a team with Kevin Durant on that team, I feel like they'll do just as good, because he is a top player and he doesn't need a Russell Westbrook. He doesn't need a Kevin Durant there to boost his team up. He can do that by himself, you know. And I feel like Kevin Durant was holding him back. So it sucks that Kevin left, but at least he gets to use all his potential and do everything the way he wants it done, and the Thunder won't stop him now. There won't be like give the ball up to Durant or anything. Like, he can shoot as much as he wants, and he can pass as much as he wants and do whatever he wants with this team, because he gave them an extension, which is practically saying that, you know, I'm willing to give you a chance. So the Thunder are going to give him every single thing he wants, and he's going to want to have the ball like pretty much all the time. And if you have it all the time, you know, he's going to be scoring, he's going to be going off. And I think that's a given that next year he is one of the top prospects for the MVP award, and I think that could be very well. I mean, it could be really good for the Thunder depending on how well he does play, and I think he's probably going to have like one of the best triple-double seasons of his life, because he's by himself, and when he was by himself and Kevin Durant had left, I mean, he was a tremendous player, you know, and Russell, I mean, everybody knows he's a top 5 player, and you know, he will step up next year, and he always steps up, you know, even when Durant was gone and he was injured, you could just see the glimpses of a greatness player, or a great player, sorry, in him, and that's why it really matters that you know, that people respect him, and that he needs to play the way he likes to play, which is, you know, just rack up stats and get triple doubles and crap. And, you know, he's probably the only point guard in the league who can actually do that and get a triple double. Many point guards, I mean, almost every point guard that's decent at all can get a double double, but not a triple double. That takes something else, and that's Russell Westbrook for you. So moving on, I'll go to Steph Curry. You know, he's won 2 back-to-back. It is a given that this guy is up there, obviously. I don't see him winning another one, probably because, you know, with Durant. Also, I want to give an honorable mention to Durant, because he's not on this list, but, you know, he could definitely have a great season next year as well. I just don't think it'll be better than any of these guys, in my opinion. But still, like, with Durant there, he's gonna lose some of his shooting. He won't have as great stats as he did before, because you have to share the ball. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening again. Just just in general, like he ain't that good a player, but he is a great scorer. You know, I don't see Steph Curry getting it again, but obviously just for the fact that he won back-to-back and he is a great player and great scorer, that he could win it next year. So yeah, and moving on to my last guy here, LeBron James. Now LeBron is a given. This guy won the last year's. He won the championship thanks to just him and Kyrie. So, I mean, LeBron is a given, and LeBron is great. So, you know, given how well he plays, I mean, he is 32 now, so you don't know how well he will play next year, but he's probably going to give it his all. Because you know it's close to the end of his prime, pretty much. It's been going for so long, but maybe it's even over. I don't know, but he's a great passer, probably the best small forward passing like ever, and also. He's a great, like, all-around making people better around you, and that's what an MVP does, along with obviously scoring, being the go-to guy, and not backing down. So LeBron, I mean, he had a chance. I mean, he'll never lose the chance of being MVP. So, I mean, LeBron's a given. So, yeah, guys, this was my list. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, guys, peace out. Thanks.